Good day, everyone. So, for our first lesson in the module 4, we will be talking about the skeletal system. So, this module will help us understand the framework of our own body. But before we proceed, let us first define what bone is. Bone or osseous tissue is a hard, dense connective tissue that forms most of the adult skeleton, the support structure of the body. The skeletal system is the body system composed of bones and cartilage and perform the following critical functions for the human body. We know that a person's body cannot be complete without the bones. And in this lesson, we shall be knowing what are these parts and also kung ano yung mga functions nito and kung ano nga ba yung mga dapat nating alamin in order for us to be able to use them more and maximize them. But I'm sure na lahat tayo, we already um, at least think of asking ourselves this question. So sabi sa question, what if humans had no bones? So, di ba? Imagine mo na lang kung ikaw, katabi mo, kaharap mo, or the people that you passed on, or yung mga nakakasalubong natin, nakikita natin everywhere, what if wala silang buto at ikaw wala kang buto? So the answer is it would have no shape and could not stand upright. So yung mga vital organs natin would be unprotected. Our motor movement would be impossible because without our skeletal muscles, our bodies would have no framework. Our delicate organs would be unprotected and we would be unable to move. So imagine in the picture of the human skeletal system, there are 28 major bones or at least parts of the skeletal system. So if one of it will malfunction or at least you will not be able to use it or move it, talagang magiging malaki yung effect niya sa ating katawan. So in this chapter again, we will be knowing what are these parts and what are these parts for. Starting off with the functions or general function of the skeletal system. First is for protection. Bones protect our internal organs. And we know that without bones, yung mga internal organs natin, and even without muscles as well, so yung mga laman ng ating katawan will be vulnerable to any trauma or at least any possible dangers. Best example lang nito yung skull, di ba? So we have our skulls in order for us to be protected from harm, lalo na po pagdating sa ating brain. Alam naman natin that our brain is very important to us. So yun yung skull yung nagsaserve as the guide or the protection of our own brain. So the same goes with our heart na sinesafeguard din ang ating rib cage kasama ng ating lungs. Specifically, our delicate organs need protection like again, the skull, yung atin pong vertebral column, pinoprotektahan niya yung spinal cord because if alam niyo man po, yung atin pong vertebral column, yung nagiging reason kung bakit yung spinal cord natin is nagiging upright, nagiging safe, kasi isa lang po yung ma-sever dito or magkaroon ng problema, malaki na po yung magiging effect niya sa katawan. And like what I mentioned is the rib cage, it protects our heart and our lungs. Have for movement. Bones team up with joints and muscles to allow movement, like what I mentioned a while ago. As our muscle contract, they pull on the bones, enabling people to walk, to run, to jump, and engage in various activities. Our muscles use our bones to cause movement. Without bones, even with muscles, hindi po tayo makakagalaw. So here are specific explanations and reason. A, the skeleton provides attachment for the muscles. So technically, imagine niyo na lang, para lang siyang branch, tapos wala siyang balat or wala siyang cover. So kung wala po yung mismong pinagkakapitan ng balat ng branch, so parang hollow lang siya. So, yung skeleton natin yung nagpo-provide ng attachment for them. Letter B, the skeleton is joined, which allows a wide range of movement. That's why if we will remove all parts of our body and we will retain the skeletal system, medyo weird talaga siyang tignan. No, kasi nga joined siya by our joints. See, different joints allow different types of movement. If we don't have joints, we cannot move certain parts of our body. Tayo po ay magiging stickman, literal. The third function of the skeletal system is to support our body. It gives shape and support to the body. The spine, ang best example, as it helps humans maintain an upright position. That's why yung mga meron pong problem with their spine, yung mga nagkakaroon ng scoliosis, di ba nakita po natin na lumiliko yung katawan or nakukuba po sila kasi nawi-weaken po yung ating spine or the spinal column. Our spine is composed of almost 26 bones, 24 individual vertebrae, kasama ang sacrum at saka ang coccyx po natin or ang tailbone. Specifically, since our body needs a framework, letter A, the skeleton gives shape to our body. Letter B, it holds our vital organs in place. Like what I said, kaya po hindi na jumble yung mga internal organs natin. It's because of the skeletal system. And letter C, it enables us to achieve a good posture. Sadly, pabata ng pabata ngayon ang mga may scoliosis. So hopefully, kaya pang i-correct or at least therapy since it's a good support for our own body. And lastly, it produces our blood cells. If you don't know, our red and white blood cells are produced in the bone marrow, which is a soft, spongy material in the hollow center of a person's bone. In adults, most blood cells are produced in the spine, hips, ribs, and breastbone. Blood cell production in children, however, takes place in the long bones like the femur. Yung ating pong mga red and white cells are produced in the bone marrow, sabi ko nga po kanina, of the ribs, humerus, vertebrae, and femur. So those are the four main functions of our skeletal system. Next, classification of our bones. So in this part of the discussion, I will only mention some of the examples, but the discussion of it can be referred to the module that you have. So starting with our first, which is the long bone or our long bones. Long bones are cylindrical in shape, meaning para siyang flask or cylinder sa laboratories. So these long bones are found commonly in our arms like our humerus, our ulna, radius. Sa legs naman natin, we have the femur, the tibia, and the fibula. As well as in the fingers like our metacarpals, yung mga phalanges natin. Sa toes naman natin, ang ating metatarsals and our phalanges. So our long bones acts as a lever and helps support the weight of our body. Without long bones, it will be hard for our body to maintain our upright position and at least to support our own body weight. Number two, if we have long, of course, we have short bones as well. Short bones are cube-like in shape. So kanina yung isa ay cylindrical. Si short bones naman are cube-like. So these are approximately equal in length, in width, and in thickness. The only short bones in the human skeleton are in the carpals, sa atin pong wrist, and yung atin pong tarsals sa ankles. So we use them in fine movements of our body. Our short bones can provide stability and support as well as some limited motion. So like what you see in the picture. Three, we have the flat bones. A flat bone is typically thin. It is also often curved. Examples include the cranial sa atin pong skull, our scapulae sa shoulder blades, yung atin pong sternum sa ating breastbone, and the ribs. So we use them to protect the organs of our body. So yung shape niya, syempre ay flat. Flat bone serves as points of attachments for muscles and often protect our internal organs. Next, number 4, we have irregular bones. Irregular bone does not have any easily characterized shape, unlike the long and the short bone. So yung long bone ay cylindrical, yung short ay cube-like, flat bones are flat. Well, irregular bones, wala siyang specific na shape. Therefore, wala siyang classification technically. These bones tend to have more complex shapes like our vertebrae, which again, like I mentioned a while ago, nagsusupport ng atin pong spinal cord. So this is again very important because without our spinal cord, basically, hindi po tayo makakapag-function. Yung term na lantang gulay, yan yung mga gulay sa ospital. Yun po yung reason kasi nasa sever po yung kanilang spinal cord. So we use irregular bones to give our body protection and shape. Lalo na po sa ating faces. So yung mga facial bones po natin, like sa mga sinuses, sa ilong, and ayun, kung ano pong nakita nyo sa mukha natin, some of it are examples of irregular bones. And last classification is the sesamoid bones. Actually, isa lang naman yung sesamoid bone. A sesamoid bone is a small, round bone that, as the name suggests, is shaped like a sesame seed. These bones form in tendons or the sheets of tissue that connect bones to muscles, where a great deal of pressure is generated in a joint. Kaya kapag nagkakaroon ng mga patellar problem, injuries, medyo crucial tsaka delikado po siya. I'm sure that there are many of us who are curious, how do we move? So let me answer this in a simple manner. The skeleton has many joints, and when we define joint, tinatawag din po natin siyang articulation. So joint is in any place where adjacent bones or bone and cartilage come together. So parang kumbaga, they are articulated with each other. So they are in need to form of a connection, and joint yung nagsisilbing connection doon. If you think that the skeletal muscles are all bones, dun po tayo nagkakamali because our skeleton also has many joints. Without the joints, these parts of your body, the long bones, the short bones, and other parts of your body will not be connected to each other. Bones connected to each other needs joints or sockets. So the joint serves as their socket. So para kayo nagsasaksak ng um, isang device sa isang extension, so gumagamit po tayo ng sockets or joints. There are two classification of joints. It can be viewed structurally and functionally. Now, let us talk about the different types of joints. So kanina, types of bones, ngayon, types of joints naman. First, we have the immovable joints. Immovable joints are a formulation of two bones that have been fused together. So these joints are capable of movement by muscular force. So para sa uh, preference, limbawa, if a blow is struck on the head, yung immovable joints po natin ng cranium, ito yung magpe-permit ng at least slight movement ng ating at least skull para hindi siya masyadong magkaroon ng impact. For all practical purposes, they could as well not exist except that they do serve a protective function. So sabi ko nga po sa inyo, parang nagkakaroon siya ng cushion yung atin pong um, mga part ng ating katawan. Yung mga joints yung nagsisilbing parang cushion. So pagka hinampas mo yung skeleton natin, hindi siya agad-agad magbe-break kasi meron siyang pagba-bounce backan. So yun po yung sinasabi dito na slight movement might occur in the joints resulting in a cushioning effect when external force is applied. So kapag po halimbawa may humampas sa inyo sa ulo, nauntog po kayo, so yung immovable joints po, yung nagiging protection ninyo into traumas. Number two, we have slightly immovable joints. These joints are not firmly fixed like the immovable joints. But the structure of bones and connective tissues in and around the joints restricts the range of motion to only a few degrees. Best example po nan ay yung atin pong, ayan, makikita po natin dito yung sacrum po natin, yung sa ilia. So these movable joints commonly are located in the spine. That's why, di ba, kapag yumuyuko po tayo or yung bending, for example, hindi po natin masyadong fully napo-fold yung sarili natin. Kasi syempre magbe-break po yung ating skeletal or skeletal system. And because of the slightly immovable joints, nakakagalaw siya on a certain degree lang but not too forced or not too much. Last, we have the free movable joints. Ito na po yung katulad kanina nung isang example nung bone. These joints have a comparatively large parang range of movement at sobrang importante po nito into us performing our duties, our daily life activities, or motor performances. They are commonly located in our upper and lower extremities like the shoulder, ang atin pong elbow, wrist, hip, and knee joints. So yun po yung mga nagiging common na naigagalaw natin, and that is because of our joints. In terms of sports, so when we make skilled sporting movements, our different joints work smoothly together. In order to work well, they must be capable of a full range of movement. To give stability to the joint, the muscles and ligaments surrounding each joint must be strong enough. The demands of sport place severe stress on our joints. Kaya nga po kailangan nating mag-warm up at mag-cool down kapag po tayo ay nag-workout, as joints can also be injured because of impact from both internal and external sources. Ayan po yung mga example ng sprain po. Yan, dyan po nangyayari ang dislocation ng shoulder and other traumas. Now let's talk about our body's anatomical planes. So as you can see, we have three. We have the sagittal, transverse, and the frontal. The whole skeletal system, including our bones, joints, ligaments, cartilage, and tendons, contribute to sport performance. Bones protect the body's organs, which may have otherwise been damaged due to contact and force, which is involved in most sport. So, ang function po ng skeletal muscle natin, again, is to help our own body be protected. So, these planes, discussion is hindi naman sobrang kailangang pag-usapan since these are just directions in our body. So, you may just refer to our module for the explanation of it. Lastly, let's talk about our joint movements. Medyo madami to, so I'll be discussing all of it in simple terms. First, we have flexion. So flexion from the word itself flex, so is about bending or movement of a segment of the body causing a decrease in the angle at point, such as bending our arms, yung elbow natin, yung leg at yung knee, or even the trunk, neck can flex forward. So you're just flexing. That's what flexion is. Now, lateral flexion, on the other hand, is when you bend sideways naman. So kung kanina, fine-flex mo yung iyong muscles, sa lateral flexion naman, you are bending it sideways. So it can either be on the right or on the left. So sometimes yung trunk din natin, di ba, we stretch it sideways. So that is lateral flexion. We have horizontal flexion. Horizontal flexion happens when our body segments flexes through the horizontal plane. For example, the arm moves through horizontal flexion at the shoulder joint in throwing the discus or yung discus throw or yung side arm pitch. Di ba kapag magbabato po tayo, pataas usually yung way ng pagbabato. So horizontal flexion po yung tawag doon. Next, we have dorsiflexion. Dorsiflexion or dorsal flex is when the ankle is flexed, causing the top of the foot to be closer to tibia. So yan po, iaangat nyo po yung inyong feet going upwards. Plantar flexion or extension is the opposite naman po ng kaninang napag-usapan natin. So kung pataas po yung isa, si plantar flexion naman po ay bababa. So dorsiflexion is going up, plantar flexion is going down. Extension is when the movement in the opposite direction of flexion, which causes an increase in the angle at the joint, such as pag ini-straighten po natin yung ating elbows or yung ating knees. So usually ginagawa po ang extension kapag nag stretch po tayo. Horizontal extension or abduction occurs when the body segment extends through the horizontal plane. In putting the shot, the opposite arms move through a horizontal extension. So, kanina, horizontal flexion, ito naman ay extension naman. Same din, horizontal din siya or going to the horizon. So, ang best example naman nito is yung shot or shot put, yung ibinabatong mabigat na bola. So, ito naman, yung kapag ibebuelo mo siya. Kaya na kasi sa discus throw, di ba, sa halos sideways siya, pero going up yung direction. Ito naman, ibebuelo mo pababa, tapos ibabato mo siya pataas. Hyperextension is the extension of a body when our position is beyond its normal extended position. Best example po nito, yung back arch, if you remember. So, yung mga arching movements, yan po yung example ng hyperextension. Hyperextension because it's not the usual extension of our body. Abduction is the movement of a body segment in the lateral plane away from the midline of the body, such as raising the leg or the arm sideways. So kapag po nagla-lateral raises, abduction po yan. On the opposite, we have adduction, movement of a body segment toward the midline naman. So kanina, away yung abduction, si adduction naman ay papalapit, towards naman siya. Rotation, movement of a segment around its own longitudinal axis. Like yung ginagawa po natin na hip rotation, neck rotation. So those are all examples of rotation. Pronation is the rotation of our hand and forearm downward, resulting in a palm down position. So pag pronation or proning position, lagi pong nakataob, naka-face po ang palm sa baba. Kasi po kapag supination or supination, yung rotation niya naman po is going up naman po. So palm up naman po tayo. Remember, pagka po pronation ay nakababa, supination po nakataas ang palm. Next, we have inversion. Inversion is when you are rotating your foot, which makes it turn inwards. So yung kanina po ay ano 'di ba, taas baba. Ito naman po ay kanan kaliwa. So ito po ay turning, tandaan niyo po ha, inwards po yung sole. Because eversion is outward. So kung mapapansin niyo no, yung mga terms niya almost similar, medyo nakakalito. So you have to be careful in remembering the terms because you might be confused. So basahin lang pong mabuti. Next, we have circumduction. Circumduction, circular or cone-like movement of a body segment such as swinging the arm in circular movement about the shoulder joint. So this kind of movement is also possible in the wrist, trunk, neck, hip, shoulder, girdle, and ankle joints. Elevation, when the shoulder is lifted up. So itataas mo po, sinashrug mo yung shoulders. Pag depression po, ibababa mo naman yung shoulder girdle. Pag protraction, yung shoulder girdle is away from the midline. So parang chest out yan. And lastly, pag retraction naman, towards the midline. So those are the terminologies used for joints. In summary, skeletal system and sports works together if we are aware of how it works, what are its functions. So we are going to be of at least of help to ourselves into making sure that we are safe because we know the function of our own body parts. So in order to work well, kailangan po full range yung mga movements natin. And you have to remember that sports requires a lot of effort. So we have to at least be prepared, like sabi ko nga po, mag-warm up, mag-cool down, because our skeletal system cannot take too much damage. Otherwise, magkakaroon po tayo ng injury. So that is it for the Module 4, Lesson 1, which is about the skeletal system. Thank you.